What do you remember most about your childhood? Really, let's think about that for a second. What thoughts come to your memory? I hope they're happy ones. Ones filled of you riding the bicycle down your neighborhood. Or maybe playing outside in the yard with your gardening hose, splashing each other on all your friends down the street. For me and my twin brother, our biggest memories were playing outside until dinner was called, because we lived out in the country and we had no other options to just stay outside until dinner was called. So we would grab a water hose and splash each other, and with that being said, we would track mud inside the house. And boy, did we get in trouble for that. I was raised from a Hispanic background. My mom is Mexican, my dad is Salvadorian. And so we would get in trouble a lot. You know, they say twins, double the trouble, right? So that is exactly what my brother and I did. We caused all the kinds of trouble, more so me, but my brother, by default, had to be a part of it, right? So memories like that come to my mind. I hope the happy ones come to your mind as well. My childhood felt safe, felt simple, felt calm, until one day it did not. At the age of 5, my childhood completely changed overnight. I was diagnosed with fulminant meningococcema, a rare and rapidly progressing bloodstream infection that spreads throughout your entire body and can become fatal within hours. How rare is it, you may ask? Well, imagine living in a big city with 100,000 people in it. 1 to 2 people are diagnosed with it. While other kids were playing outside, living their childhood, carefree, enjoying the sun, fighting over the fruit snacks and the Jell-O at home, I was learning to survive my life, fight for my life. 20% skin loss came to that as a result. I carry to this day scars that are on my body, and I wear them as a badge of honor. Multiple surgeries, skin grafts, and a lot of hospital stays. What came with that was a lot of fear, a lot of confusion. I didn't know what was happening, but all I knew was that I was scared to my core. I was scared to death. I tried figuring out what the doctors were telling each other, trying to understand that medical language, but all I could really understand was fear. Doctors told my parents that they were going to need a miracle to save me. And yet somehow, I became it. I became that miracle. You see, pain changes people. Unexpected chapters in your life redirect you. For me, it involved maturing at a very, very young age. Hard moments are not always the happy endings that we expect in life or that we want in life. It's sometimes those painful and difficult chapters that create resilience, reveal your purpose in life, transform your identity. For me, that 5-year-old little girl still lives within me. And now I get to live a life to be able to talk to you all, to tell you this story. Pain often opens chapters we never expected to live. The unexpected turns that life gives us are not always what ends our story. It's actually what causes us and leads us into our next chapter. Chapter 1, feeling different. To this day, I wear my scars on my body like a badge of honor. They tell a story. I remember walking into my classrooms and already feeling different. I knew that the students and the classmates and my friends were going to ask questions. In a world that we are always so inquisitive and curious about one another, appearances, social status, you can't help but notice the people teenagers specifically, notice everything. There's this comparison aspect of, why does she look like that? Why does he look like this? Why do they speak differently? Why do they have a funny accent? Of course, social media has a lot to play with this, right? Into fact, with all this. But my mother, whenever I was little, did her best to protect me from the world. She dressed me in dresses and pantyhose to be able to protect me from being bullied, from being made fun of. In middle school, I was wearing pants all the time. I wore leggings, I wore Under Armour, everything that you had in PE class, I would wear it just to protect myself from being picked on. But what I now know, what I didn't know then, is that it came from love. My mother was only trying to protect me as her daughter from the world. See, pain makes you scared. It makes you feel judged. It makes you feel like rejected. And it makes you feel like you don't belong in life. But just because I lost 20% of my skin doesn't mean I'm 20% less than anyone else. I want you to understand that. Your self-worth comes from within you. You are the person that wakes up every single day and tells, I'm a valuable human being in this world. Pain doesn't reduce your worth. It doesn't take away from the hard chapters in your life that you've gone through. It actually helps mold you and make you a better person to you are today. And you know what? Something about scars, they actually show that you're a warrior. They show and they build real strength. I wasn't being hidden from the world. I was actually preparing myself for it. Chapter 2, the real miracle. I used to believe that the miracle alone was simply surviving what I went through in my childhood. But really, the real miracle, I'm here to tell you, is what we choose to do in our day-to-day lives. That is the real miracle. What we choose to do in our days that we're given on this earth, that is the real miracle. The real miracle is staying kind after you've gone through so much pain. Remaining hopeful after you've had so much disappointment. Choosing to live a life that is fulfilled of purpose. Instead of saying, why did this happen to me? I've started saying, how can I help someone else? How can this exact story of mine help someone else in life? My survival became and created me to become more empathetic towards people. I built resilience within me. It gave me a whole different perspective on life. It led me to write my memoir, Miracles Do Happen. It led me today to where I am today, to my speaking journey, on front of a stage talking to you all. It had led me, the most beautiful thing is helping other people heal. I want to take a moment and ask you, how many of you all had purpose at age 5? My purpose was simply just to survive. That's it. I just wanted to make it through. I still to this day remember telling my mother, I do not want to die. Chapter 3. We have a lot of anxiety in our lives, a lot of pressure, a lot of comparison. Like I mentioned before, social media does that to you. It talks to you about having this picture-perfect person and making it seem, I'm okay, when really you don't even know how to be okay because you're comparing yourself to someone else on that screen, whether it be computer, Instagram, TikTok, whatever we've got going on. There's a fear of failure. A lot of people feel like they're behind in life, that they're not good enough or they're not enough. I'm here to tell you that one bad chapter does not mean the book is over. It means your story is still being written. Painful chapters are not always the ones that remain permanent. They're the ones that help you turn the next page and build on from the next. Chapter 4, the next chapter framework. Recognize the chapter that you're in your life. Make sure that you understand that you're going through something. Don't ignore it. Pain, disappearing pain does not go away. You have to acknowledge the pain that you're in. Don't minimize the struggle. Accept that you're going through something. Seek help. A lot of mental health leads to that, right? You want to be able to build yourself on that. One chapter does not define your entire story. You have to make sure that you can rewrite your narrative. Instead of saying, why me? Don't victimize yourself from what you're going through. Ask, what is this teaching me? What strength is being built within me? And 3, make sure you rise into your purpose. Use pain to help others, because when you do that, it allows you to heal. It is the most therapeutic experience to be able to go through something and go find someone and go vent and talk about whatever it is that you're going through. Maybe it was a job loss. Maybe it's a heartbreak. You got boyfriend or girlfriend you broke up with you. You didn't get that promotion at work. Understand that your wounds can be someone else's wisdom. Your scars that you wear, emotionally, physically, mentally, that is what strength is. It builds you from the bottom up. And surviving whatever it is that you're going through, that leads to someone else's hope. And that's the beautiful thing about life, is that you can be an inspiration to anyone in this room, as long as you're willing to accept whatever it is that you have going through in life. At age 5, my childhood changed, but I think for the better. It made me the person I am today. It gave me purpose, and it helped me survive something no little 5-year-old girl should have to do that. However, pain redirected my life. It's given me an aspiration to want more out of life, to go and meet people and talk to people and be able to share my story and inspire other people. Hard chapters that I went through created my purpose. And my purpose today is to be able to be here with you and share that the next chapter is still being written in your book. It doesn't define you. Unexpected chapters actually change everything. It can change your entire life. For what you're going through now can be something later down the road, and you may have to look back and say, I never thought I'd be able to get to this far in life. So painful and unexpected chapters are not always the end of the story. Sometimes they actually become the chapters that give your life the most meaning. And it defines on who you're meant to become. So again, your story isn't over. The next chapter is still being written. Thank you.